Hi, Mickey Quinn here with Retail Level Up. If you've ever watched an episode of the Shark Tank, you know that the sharks are ruthless when a business owner is making a pitch and they don't know their numbers. Every business owner and entrepreneur must know their numbers, and it's not just their top line sales or sales revenue and profitability and expenses. It's much more than that. And yet many business owners pay attention to whether or not they have enough money in their accounts to pay the bills and make payroll. And that's about the extent of it. And that is shocking to me. After coaching multiple business owners and identifying that this is a rather common situation that business owners fall into, it made me realize how important it is to go just beyond the top line sales and the expenses and dive deep into knowing your numbers. Well, one of the first things on your list should be to find a professional, someone who is a professional certified public accountant whose specialty is in tax planning. The U.S. tax code is over 60,000 pages. No small business owner could possibly be an expert in that. You need professional help when it comes to your business and taxes. A good starting point is to talk to other successful businesses in your area. Find out from word of mouth who they prefer as their CPA and read the reviews. It's a great indication of whether that CPA is going to be able to help you in what you do and delivers the service that you need. Also, depending on the complexities of your business, you may want to also engage a bookkeeper. Now, most business owners are not great when it comes to the details of tracking their expenses and keeping track of all their receipts and calculating and distributing payroll. If you're not good at one of those things, and if you don't enjoy doing those things, this is a strong candidate of an item that should be delegated. Now, once you have your professionals in place for your bookkeeping and your tax liability, another thing that you need to make sure that you pay attention to are your key performance indicators, or KPIs. Now, there are many performance indicators, but choosing the ones that are most important to your business can be challenging because there's so many. There's so many things you want to keep track of and that seem important to you, but not every number is important enough to garner your attention on a daily, weekly, or even a monthly basis. The most important thing to figure out is the info behind those numbers. What behaviors drive the numbers? You want to make sure that what you're measuring actually drives the results that you want. Here's a great example of that. I worked for a retailer and they had established a monthly incentive program for their store managers, and it was based on sales per labor hour. Now, the store manager's hours worked were not part of that calculation. They only measured the hourly workers in the sales per labor hour calculation. So some of the store managers figured out if they stood alone in their store for most of the day and just brought on coverage for the evening, maybe 4 hours, their sales per labor hour looked fantastic, even though their actual sales over last year were not that great. In fact, they might have even had a loss. But the labor that they spent was really low, because their own hours as store manager didn't even come into the calculation. So they might have bonused on that. But top line sales declined and customer satisfaction declined because no one was there to help them on the sales floor because the store manager was at the register bringing all the transactions. That's an example of when a key performance indicator, a number, actually does not drive the kind of behavior that you want to have happen in your location. Some other numbers you need to be very aware of is what your competition is doing. What prices are they charging? And not that you want to match prices, but you need to be aware of what your competitor is charging and what's included in that price in the services, products, or programs that they offer. How does that stack up to what you offer? And whenever you're reviewing your competitors, you want to approach the project as looking for what the competitor is doing well. That is a great indication of where you need to improve or where you can do better. Some other numbers that you need to pay attention to are things like conversion. If you had a brick and mortar store and let's say 100 people walk into your store in a day, about 20 people will buy no matter what you do. Another 20 aren't going to buy no matter what you do. But that leaves 60 people that you and your team can influence based on what you say to them, what conversations you have, what products you present to them. Or let's say you are an auto repair shop, and it's the type of shop where customers schedule an appointment to bring in their car for repair. Well, you know that you have about 20% of the customers are no-shows. So let's say you put into process a method for the office team to call the customers the day before their appointment to remind them. And then your no-shows drop by less than 10%. That's the kind of numbers that you want to dig into. What behaviors can change your results? And then there's all those numbers that the Shark Tank team really wants to know. Everything that leads to profitability. How much does it cost to produce what it is that you sell? What do you sell it for? What discounts do you give? What are your profits? How much have you sold in the past 12 months and what profit did it generate? On average, how many clients do you serve in a month and how much revenue does that bring in? Do you know your monthly expenses and how much revenue you have to make in order to cover those? What does your monthly and annual P&L look like? The point is, there are tons of numbers involved in your business, and it's not just sales and expenses. There's all kinds of numbers that go into profitably running and executing your business. And it's your job to know the ones that are most important to driving your results. For more tips like this, like us and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, just search for Retail Level Up. Be sure to visit our website, retaillevelup.com, and sign up to get our email newsletters. We send Monday Motivation and Top Tip Tuesday because we all can use a little extra motivation right now, and we can certainly use some top tips. Because now, even more than ever, it's time to level up.